Descaling a Pentair Mastertemp 400. Hi, I watched your video on how to descale a Mastertemp 400 and I think I need to do it. Our tankless water heaters in our house died because of how hard the water is in San Diego. My heater keeps kicking on and off. I just changed out the AFS and it's still happening, so I think my exchanger is full of scale. I am a DIY guy, however, and the idea of taking apart the couplings and the gas, etc. to move the heater seems scary to me. Is there another way to do it? Well, I guess I wonder what video, because you don't actually move a heater.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only real way of doing this is if the system was plumbed in that you could cut into the plumbing farther back and then just feed everything through, it'd be one thing. But in most cases, what you have to do is there's those two nuts that you have to take off to loosen it up. But then you have to move the heater out of the way, which means the gas line, you got to make sure it's flexible enough, and there's room to kind of scooch the heater out. So now you have the two ports exposed enough that you can thread another union on and be able to do that, the process. The only other way of doing it, if not that, and I get it that it sounds scary because it's not pleasant, I can promise you that much, and I've done it way too many times to be happy about telling you. The only other opportunity would be is if, however it's plumbed off of the heater, is that if you could cut in and put a union somewhere else, or a coupling where you could cut in, use those pieces of extension pipe to do the process that we talked about, and then after you're done, put it back together and glue those back together. But short of that, there's just no magical way of running vinegar through, running muriatic acid through. You basically got to get that thing apart to do it. In some cases, worst case scenarios, is not only do you have to take those unions off, but sometimes you have to take the side of that panel off and take the whole headers off to get to the tubes that run through the heater core tubes themselves. And that's a whole nother disconcerting and unhappy process. But I think you'd be okay. What I would warn you is obviously close off all your other valves, close the filter, put the filter valve on closed, the multi-port, close your plumbing valves everywhere so there's no water leaking. Take those apart, scooch the heater just a little bit out of the way, and see, depending on how your gas line feeds in, there might be some play. Sometimes the gas line has enough that you can just scooch it around enough to get those things exposed, and then you can put the new unions on to be able to run it. The key is you have to at least get those unions off and get it apart to see what's going to happen. And once you do, as scary as it is, you'll be okay.